Ever since I watched the monk debate between Malcolm Gladwell and Douglas Murray about whether we should trust the mainstream media, I have to say that my opinion of Gladwell has dropped quite a bit. Not so much because of the argument he made during this debate, which was that we should trust the mainstream media, but more so because of his behavior and the way he conducted himself during the debate. You can go and watch that for yourself. But having said that, I want to add that I have found Gladwell's books to be quite useful, especially his book Outliers and the book David and Goliath, of which I want to say one or two quick things. So the book David and Goliath deals with the phenomenon of the proverbial David having to battle the proverbial Goliath. And he elaborates on this, of course, against the backdrop of the classic biblical tale of David that picks up a stone and slings it towards Goliath. Now, Gladwell makes the comment that once David takes out his slingshot, it's over for Goliath. And herein lies the first important lesson that I took from that book, which is that our strengths and our weaknesses are almost always two sides of the same coin. So Goliath's strength was that he was big and that he was strong. But as a result of this, his weakness was that he was slow and that he was a big target. David's weakness was that he was small and he was weak. But as a result of this, he was forced to think out of the box and to be more strategic in the way in which he confronts Goliath. And this is true of almost everything in our daily lives, where we find that our strengths carry within them our weaknesses, and our weaknesses carry within them our strengths. The second point I want to make about Gladwell's book, David and Goliath, is a conclusion he reaches with reference to an analysis of all the wars that were fought in the past 200 years. In this study, it was found that the proverbial Goliath, or the stronger party, won more or less in 2/3 of these wars. But then the researchers in this study took a different approach. They categorized these wars to determine in which of these cases did the proverbial David, or the underdog, fight back in a manner that was unconventional or that the proverbial Goliath did not expect. And so they found that in these cases, David won about 2/3 of the time. And so the important lesson from this is when we regard ourselves to be the underdog, we ought to remember that our strength is usually the flip side of our weakness. And also that David has a significant chance of beating Goliath if he would simply adopt an unconventional and unpredictable strategy.